Radio.
That's right, folks. This is Vaughn Radio, and it's time for liftoff. Let's go.
5,
We got
4,
this. Come
3,
on, come on, come on,
2,
come on.
1, 0. Ignition.
I hope we don't overheat.
Liftoff.
Sobrecalentar.
Liftoff. 30 minutes after the hour.
Good word for the summer, to overheat. And don't mix up heat and hot. Heat, sustantivo. Verbo, hot, adjetivo. Ya estamos aprendiendo.
Hold on to your hats.
Ready for the ride of your life.
The show with no name time.
On Vaughn Radio.
It's a show with no name. Let's go.
That's right, amigos. Welcome, welcome. We are in the dog days of summer. Oh, man. It is hot as hell out there. I hope you guys are keeping cool. I know you're cool. Que moláis y todo. But I hope you're keeping cool as well. Lots of ways to cool off. To cool off is refrescarse. You can cool off by the pool. You can have yourself a little pina colada and listen to your favorite English show on Vaughn Radio. This is the show with no name, and we are officially airborne, amigos. We're going to go to a lot of exciting places on our English adventure today. And I know you guys have warmed up. I know you're nice and warm, not just due to the weather, but you're also nice and warm because my buddy Fitz warmed you up in his show, No Excuses. Don't miss it. It's a great way to start your day. And you have no excuses. Grab an iced tea, a lemonade, or an Arnold Palmer, one of my personal favorites. What? An Arnold Palmer? Yeah, well, there was a guy who played golf. I don't know very much about golf, but his name was Arnold Palmer. And Arnold Palmer, well, his favorite drink was a mix of iced tea and lemonade. And if you've never tried that mix, that Arnold Palmer, you are missing out. And you can learn about all those little native expressions in my latest book. This book is The Shit. First things first, how are the machines doing? You good?
Yeah, good.
All right, cool. Let's take a little picture. Quick question, though. ¿Cómo se dice emparejar en inglés?
No sé. ¿Tu emparejate?
No, emparejate. Usas Tinder, ¿no?
Sí.
Pues, ¿qué pasa cuando te gusta una chica y hacéis pareja? ¿Hacéis un
Match.
Eso es. Y vamos un paso más allá. Un matchmaker, uno que hace parejas, es Celestina.
Ah, claro, ¿qué sentido tiene?
¿Ves? Lo sabías, pero no sabías que lo sabías.
Así es, This Book is the Shit, el nuevo libro de Alberto Alonso
Y Damián Moya.
Así da gusto aprender.
That's what I'm talking about. That's right, amigos. My latest book, this book is the shit. But today we're not going to be looking from, well, actually, yeah. We're going to listen to something from This Book is the Shit. But today's challenge is coming from my book, English on the Go. And it's a book, if you haven't gotten it, I take you to 30 cities and I teach you English in each one of these cities. So we're going to get a little content from all my different books, which are available at the Von Tienda. If you have the books, you can follow along. Here's a little snippet of a video that we have in the latest book. This book is The Shit, where we look at that silent B. So I want you guys to listen very carefully. If you have the book, it's great. You've probably heard this already. I want you to write these words down. I want you to say the words with me, and very, very important, add your own words.
Bueno, pues ya que hemos terminado, nos echamos un Tomb Raider y nos jugamos unas partiditas.
Is this your new friend? ¿Tu nuevo amigo, Tom Raider?
Tomb Raider, tío, el juego este
¿Quién
que
es
es
Tom?
de Lara Croft.
Oh, Tomb Raider?
Tomb Raider, eso. Es que los ingleses tienen la manía de poner la B muda y es que no hay Dios que se aclare. Vale, vamos
Ingleses y americanos.
Y
ojo.
americanos. Sí.
Inglés no
queremos
soy.
ofender a nadie. ¿eh?
No.
Vale, o sea, vamos a ver. La palabra dumb.
No, la B es muda. Dumb.
Dumb. Vale.
Don't be dumb. No seas tonto.
Vale. Don't be
Es como
dumb.
si fuera D-U-M. O sea, imagínate.
Muda.
Quiero que cogéis esta lista de palabras y tacha la B en tu cabeza.
Vale.
Cross it out.
Vamos con ella, vale. Thumb. No.
Thumb.
Thumb.
Acaba con M. Pura
Vale.
y dura. Thumb.
Vale. Numb.
I feel numb, too much is not enough. O la de I've become so numb. Linkin Park,
Sí.
numb, entumecido.
Entumecido.
No numb, sino numb.
Numb. Vale. Volvemos a Tomb Raider.
Tomb.
Tomb Raider. Vale. La tumba. Vale. Womb.
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 Donde naces. Bueno, estás en el womb de tu madre,
Ajá.
cuando eres un bebé.
Vale. Es como, no es el vientre, no
Sí,
sé
el
qué
vientre, el saco, este es the womb.
Sí, vale.
Ujú.
Ok. Bomba.
Bomba, yo siempre tengo un truco para esta. Di, mi madre es la bomba.
My mom is the bomb.
Deben rimar.
My mom is the bomb.
My mom is the bomb.
Is the bomb. Vale, ok. Escalar.
Climb.
Climb.
No sabes las veces que he oído climber, ¿no?
Mm.
Climber.
Y si digo I'm climbing,
No, la B no.
nada.
Es que está ahí solo para confundir.
I'm climbing.
I'm climbing.
I'm climbing.
Ujú.
Vale, ok.
Ujú.
Peinarse.
Comb.
Comb.
You comb your hair with a comb.
You comb your hair.
También decimos peinar el desierto para buscar algo. To comb
Ajá.
the desert, to comb.
Vale, igual que nosotros.
No,
Vale.
en la película Spaceballs, Guerras
Sí.
de la Galaxia, es una
Ese
famosa-
chiste entraba en español porque
Y
nosotros también
funciona, ¿no?
peinamos.
¡Wow! Por
Sí.
fin un chiste que
Por fin.
funciona.
Sí, señor. Duda.
Doubt.
Doubt. No doubt. Vale.
Doubt.
Doubt. No doubt. No.
Yeah, doubt.
Doubt. Vale.
I doubt it.
Deuda.
Debt.
Debt.
Es
Vale.
D-E-T. La B fuera. Debt.
Fuera. Completamente. Es un 100%
Di esta
fuera.
frase. I doubt he has any debt.
I doubt he has any debt.
Dudo que tenga deudas.
I doubt he has any debt. Además es mucho más fácil realmente. Lo difícil es meter la B. O sea
Yeah.
que nos complicamos la vida para nada.
Yeah, it's very subtle.
Es muy sutil.
La B no se pronuncia
Es-
tampoco. Subtle.
Ah, subtle.
Subtle. A ver si pueden encontrar más, porque seguro que hay más palabras con esa B muda. Y con todos estos vídeos lo que deberíais hacer es añadir a estas listas tus ejemplos en voz alta, aloud.
All right, guys, there you go. Those are some of the most common ones that I've hand-picked, that I've cherry-picked. But as always, add your own examples. That is fresh out of This Book is the Shit. And now it's time for our pop quiz, where we're going to look at something from English on the go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Yeah. Pop quiz. Come on. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Yeah. Let's go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. That's right, amigos. It is our pop quiz on the show with no name, and let's see if you guys can figure it out. Today, we are going to Singapore. There's a chapter in the book where I take you to Singapore, and I want you guys to tell me in a totally native way how to say, I'm going to leave. Okay? Me marcho, me piro, vampiro. I'm going to leave. Like a very native way to say it. And all I can do to give you a clue, if you don't have the book, English on the Go, I want you to think of a famous martial artist, actor, and producer who was born in Beijing, but in 2009, he became a naturalized citizen of Singapore. So I love that city. It's a great city. And I not only visited the city, I wrote a chapter in my book, English on the Go, on the city. And there's even an FYI episode on Singapore as well. This spectacular Asian city/state by the sea undeniably exudes excellence. From its humble beginnings to its plainly prosperous present, get ready to roam around its surprising streets and chow down in its charismatic corners. We'll sink our teeth into Singapore on this week's episode of FYI. Welcome to For Your Info.
Inglés.
You got it. That's right, folks. That's right. That's the Singapore episode of FYI. And don't forget, you've got all summer long, you've got new bonus episodes of FYI that have never been released before. Well, not to the general public. So make sure you subscribe, make sure you follow, as they call it now, and get notifications. Because if you get notifications, you'll know Alberto just released the bonus episode on Singapore. And this way you never miss an episode. All right, well, let's go back to Singapore, but we're going to the book now. Hey, well, I used some of the things from the book as well. And I'm even trying to give you guys, an audio clue over here. All right, so me voy a pirar, me voy a ir. I think that the correct translation would be me voy a pirar, me voy a ir. All right, so I've got a lot of ways to say that. Many, many ways. We just said I'm going to leave. Remember this. To leave is an irregular verb. Leave, do you know how to conjugate it? Leave, left, left. I'm going to go away. I'm going to depart. I'm going to head out. Eso es muy americana. I'm going to head out. I'm going to make a move. Me toca moverme, no? I'm going to make a move. I'm going to walk off. I'm going to move along. I'm going to split. Me encanta esta. I'm going to split. Esa la puedes ver in Back to the Future. I'm going to split. I'm going to beat it. I'm going to beat it. Me voy a largar. Esa canción, that famous Michael Jackson song, he's not saying pégalo o véncelo, que también significa eso. Pero en este caso es pirarse. Another way to say it, I'm going to hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. Trying to put on that raspy voice. So I'm going to beat it. I'm going to hit the road. I'm going to skedaddle. I'm going to put my skates on. Ponerme los patines. Excuse me. I'm going to make myself scarce. Right? I am going to jet. That's right. The one that I'm looking for from the book is I'm going to jet. Me voy a pirar. And if you notice there from the book, Well, Jet Li is a Singaporean. He's a naturalized citizen of Singapore, and it's a good way to remember it. You can remember Jet Li doing some kind of stunt, right? And saying, I've got to jet. Me tengo que ir. So Jet Li, I use the example here. To jet es una forma informal de decir pirarse o largarse. Quédate con esta frase. Jet Li has his own private jet. All right? I'm going to jet. I'm going to skedaddle. I'm going to bounce. You know that one? To bounce. Yeah, botar. También significa irse. I'm going to jet. I'm going to bounce. And you want probably the most native one out there? I'm Audi 5000. What? Audi? Como el coche? Audi? Audi? Yeah. I'm Audi 5000. And what is it? What the heck? Well, let me explain it. When we say I'm out of here, otra forma que sí, me piro. I'm out of, muchas veces, la mayoría de las veces, when we say out of, we say outa. O-U-T-T-A. You scared the shit out of me. Outa. Right? Get out of here. Eso puede ser lárgate, pero también puede ser no me digas. Get out of here. So, as you can see, there are many ways to say get out of here. And sometimes it means get out of here, literally, como salte de aquí. And other times it means no way. No way, Jose, as I like to say. So, folks, that's right. This is English on the Go. And the way I teach you English in this book is the same way you would learn if you were traveling. And then there are different translations. Let's try some translations, because when I teach you guys a grammar point in the book, I like to make sure I give you examples. And just like all of the Vaughn books, this book comes with audio. So you can go to the early pages of the book, los páginas principales, and it'll give you a website and a code. And this way, you can practice these translations, and you can even put in your own. And again, this is a great summer book. If you don't have it, English on the Go. Whether you're on vacay, vosotros decís vacas, we say vacay. Whether you're on vacay or maybe you're in the office, in the AC, in el aire acondicionado, this is the perfect book to take you on a mental adventure in English. All right, let's practice this quite. I've got not quite, and I've got some translations with quite. So what is this quite? No, it's quiet. Quiet es silencioso. Quite. Quite se escribe. Well, let's look at some translations together here. Well, first, let me give you the explanation. I don't even have to think about it because I already wrote it in the book. Quite se pronuncia quite. No la confundes con quiet, silencioso, que se pronuncia quiet. Hombre, como lo estás leyendo, pues también lo ponemos en el inglés escrito como se oye. That's one of the things we do at Vaughn. We have our own method. Although it can never hurt, no hace daño, que te puede ayudar if you learn the phonetic alphabet, because then you literally learn all the sounds. So let me continue. La estructura not quite significa no exactamente y se puede usar indistintamente con not exactly. ¿Cuál es el problema? Not exactly es larguísimo. Not quite, dos sílabas. Not exactly. Cuatro sílabas as opposed to two. So not quite. Not quite. And I said, pero te ahorras dos sílabas, ¿sí? ya que es más corta. Practiquémoslo. Él no es exactamente alto. He's not quite tall. Just be careful. I've heard people mix this one up. If you say he's not quite high, eso es colocado. No tiene nada que ver con alto en ese caso. He's not quite tall. Okay, the next one. No es exactamente correcto. It's not quite right. Algo falla. It's not quite right. Y hay que poner la entonación siempre. Acuérdate, estamos interpretando ideas, emociones. It's not quite right. Ok. No están exactamente preparados. They aren't quite ready. Okay? Then we've got quite and quite a few. So we just looked at not quite, the negative. But this is an interesting thing. When we say in English quite a few, it means a lot. Sí, porque bastantes pocos. It's weird. Because quite we just learned as exactamente, bastante, right? But it's a weird one. It's because quite a few means, wow, you have quite a few records, por ejemplo, vinilos. Bastante, significa muchos. So don't let that one fool you. Que no te engañes, eh? There's some tricky words out there. All right, let's try some more with quite. Esta es muy difícil. Es bastante silencioso. Es bastante silencioso. It's quite quiet. Di esa conmigo porque esa es una que la gente se suele liar. It's quite quiet. Es bastante silencioso. Tengo bastante hambre. Tengo bastante hambre. I'm quite hungry. I'm quite hungry. Another way to say quite, que también es muy, muy nativo, pero ya saltamos a 2 sílabas. Pero es muy popular en mi país. And that one is pretty. I'm quite hungry. De hecho, me suena más británico. I'm quite hungry. And Americans, I'm pretty hungry. So how would you say, ella es bastante guapa? She's pretty pretty. Or, the one we were practicing, she's quite pretty. Okay. Ellos están bastante perdidos. They're, well, we can contract they are. But it's not their. It's que he oído muchos alumnos decirlo mal, ¿eh? Ojo, no es their, it's there. Suena igual que ahí. Te lo juro. Nadie dice their, it's there. Te lo juro, ¿eh? Es un truco que ya dices, pues, ¿por qué voy a decir there si es there? Y ya sé decir ahí. Es que hay que asociarlo, es el tema. So they're quite lost over there. Así los tienes. So they're quite lost. They're quite lost. Where are they? They're there. Están ahí. They're there. In their car. ¿Ves? 3 palabras que suenan como there. There, ahí. There, they are. Cuando lo juntamos. Right? And they, y el posesivo. El de ellos. So, practice that because I've heard a lot of those. No. Si sabes pronunciar, ahí, que todos lo sabéis pronunciar perfectamente, lo sé, entonces sabes pronunciar. Y son 3 palabras que usamos muchísimo. Ok. Están bastante cerca. Están bastante cerca. They're quite close, or they're pretty close. So as you see, you can practice all different structures. You can learn vocabulary, common mistakes. I think it's the perfect book for the summertime. Folks, we've got to go to our first commercial break right now. The good news, we'll be right back with tons more Show with No Name. We've been learning, we've been laughing all summer long. And we've just got another week or so before holiday. I'm exhausted. but I'm having fun here with my amigos, learning and laughing. We'll be right back with the second part of today's show, so stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the second part of today's show with no name on Vaughn Radio. Oh, yeah, all aboard. Remember to listen to all our amazing programs, even if some of my amigos are on vacation right now. It's all good. You can still listen to their programs. We don't ever stop playing content here on Vaughn Radio. Just remember to download the free app, or you can follow us wherever you get your podcasts. If you're looking to go a step further, don't forget to go to our website, grupovaughn.com. We've got so many options available out there, so many solutions for you. And if you're looking for some materials to study next to the pool or with your toes in the sand, you can stop by the Vaughn Tienda. It's vaughntienda.com. We've got everything from adventure books like mine and very, very grammar-based books. In fact, one thing I recommend you get if you don't have it is our student manual. The student manual is absolutely amazing, and it really takes you through the language. I'm doing the student manual with Lara right now, although I'm not literally taking out the student manual. I've got it in my head. After 20 years, I know all the exercises, and I know all the order that they need to be taught in, because there is really a specific order to everything. Think about that. It's not random. You don't start using tenses like the present. What is the one? The present perfect continuous. Okay. I've been working in Madrid. No, you start with I need, I want, it is, right? So, and that's natural. That's in any language that's like that. Okay, amigos. So we've got to get started with the second part of the show. It's time for today's Say What? Say what? soundbite. Say what soundbite on the show with no name. Say what soundbite on the show with no name. Say what soundbite on the show with no name. Now I'm gonna warn you guys. I'm gonna forewarn you. Prevenir, avisar con antelación. This one is probably going to be one of the toughest ones we have looked at in a really long time. But I know you guys will be able to handle it. And if not, we will solve it by the end of the show. But I think also the harder it is here, the easier it's going to be the next time you're out there in an Irish pub, or you're in the United States, or who knows, it'll be easier, right? Because you've trained your ear. Has entrenado, has formado ese oído. All right, amigos, everybody grab a pen, grab a notebook, and jot this down. Is everybody ready? Here's the very tricky, muy difícil, the very tricky say what soundbite for the first time.
It's in my interest, and ours perhaps, maybe in the interest of the greater good, for me to smoke a joint and calm down. It's been demonstrably proven that temper tantrums are not the best way to do interviews, and probably my life will be easier and yours too if I smoke a joint.
All right, there we go, folks. The guy mumbles, doesn't he? All right, well, I won't give you too much information. We'll talk about it after. Let me give it to you a second time now. I'll give you about 30 seconds or so. Get your ideas down. Write down as much as you can possibly remember. And I don't expect any of you to get it on the first, second, or even third, maybe even the fourth today. Today's really, really, really challenging. But I think some will be able to get it. Is everybody ready? This is the Say What soundbite for the second time.
It's in my interest, and ours perhaps, maybe in the interest of the greater good, for me to smoke a joint and calm down. It's been demonstrably proven that temper tantrums are not the best way to do interviews, and probably my life will be easier and yours too if I smoke a joint.
All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I'll give you just one word that comes to mind: to mumble. Mumble. All right. Also, guys, something we like to do here, because all of us at Vaughn, all of us on Vaughn Radio, we love what we do. We work here at Vaughn, but also we love doing a lot of other different things. And you see, like, so many interesting hobbies. Jules, Tosh Pasqua, Kyle Miller he's a restaurateur. When he's not, doing his show, es un restaurador, you say? Somebody who works in the restaurant industry. So, and that's an interesting thing about not just Vaughn Radio, but all the Vaughn teachers. They're multifaceted. And there's nobody, in my opinion, more talented, more gifted in the company than Dave Boyes. And Dave Boyes is talented on so many levels. He's amazing. He's written children's books, and he's got one of the oldest shows on Vaughn Radio. His show is called The Salad. And I want to remind you guys, just recently, he put out 3 brand new songs. They're great. You can download the lyrics and you can follow along, and you can even learn from the titles of the song. That's right. One of the songs is called Making Waves, Causando Problemas. Let's give it a listen.
track. They change direction, you change track. It all boils over, you bring it back. Sleeping dogs like push till the crack. You're only making waves we share. You say you're only making waves we share. You say chip away, they come slack. You pull them under, they fight back. It all boils down to who's back to scratch. It's not over till the wolf's with the pack. Waves we share. Say you're only making waves we share. Say
Awesome, awesome stuff. That's our very own Dave Boyce. I mean, it's awesome. It reminds me of one of my favorite bands called Jane's Addiction. Oh, and speaking of addiction, let's take a look at our Say What soundbite over here. As I see many people are saying this guy mumbles, I'm glad you agree. And the person said something about a joint, which can be a few different things. A joint can be something that connects two bones, articulación. A joint, well, not just two bones, two pipes, también, en tubería. The thing that connects the two pipes, that's a joint as well. A joint is a restaurant or a bar, un garito. Anybody who's ever seen The Sopranos, you'll know they say, hey, he's going to this joint. Whose joint is that? But also joint is a marijuana cigarette. So which one did he mean? Well, I kind of gave you a clue there. Jane's Addiction. All right, well, folks, this is going to be challenging, but not as challenging as today's Spelling Bee.
Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee.
That's right. That's right, amigos. It's our Spelling Bee, and it's only on the show with no name. The Spelling Bee is the part of the show where we get you guys to spell some words. We work on all kinds of different things here. Plus, we learn about a given topic. So every day we've got some kind of common thread that links all these words or ideas together. So as with many things on the show with no name, it serves many purposes. Tiene muchos propósitos. All right, is everybody ready? This is today's Spelling Bee, and this is round one. This is the lightning round. This is the round for only the strong. And as the expression says, only the strong survive. The first one, oh, and they're capitalized. Van a empezar con mayúscula. The first one is FLORENCE. The second one is SANTA space MARIA space FIORE. The next one is ARNOLFO space CAMBIO. The next one is FILIPPO space BRUNELLESCHI. The fifth one is EMILIO space FABRIS. And the last one is PIAZZA space DUOMO. All right, there you go, my amigos. I'll give you a little clue if you'd like there. Today we are going to Italy, a beautiful place like none other. Wonderful gastronomy, lovely mountains and products such as olive oil and tomatoes, sun-ripened tomatoes. And oh, yes, we are master bakers. We make some lovely bread, and we are master artists. I think the Italians are really artists in general. Whatever they do, they could be making, I'm generalizing, but I'm saying, they could be making a fried egg, un huevo frito, and they're like, wait, first put a little salt, after, but not too much. Because, hey, that's good. That means you do everything with TLC. Con el toque de cariño, con ese toque de amor. TLC. Hey! Whoa! This is like a tarantella over here. Hey! Do you know where we're going yet today? Well, we're going to Italy, but what part of Italy are we going to? Well, we're catching a flight to Florence. Florence, Italy. Oh my God. The place itself is a work of art, no doubt about it. Hey, what's the matter with you? Hey, what's the matter with him? What's the matter with you? All right. Well, folks, these are all words that have to do with Florence, Italy, and more specifically, the Florence Cathedral. So great job to everybody who nailed it. Great job, great job. That was really fast, too. And, well, the faster I go, the faster you guys get, it seems here. It's hard to keep raising the bar, to keep upping the ante, because you guys are just so damn good. You bring the magic day in, day out. All right. Now, we're going to go through these words again, and this time at a pace that I, for example, could follow along with. Because if you notice, a lot of times when I'm saying the words, I have to pause because I know the letters, but I can't go that fast. I'm an old man. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not an old man. But sometimes I notice that I'm not as fast as I used to be. I'm not as sharp. Agudo, espabilado. Hey, I try, believe me, but it happens. All right, this is round 2. The first word is, well, you know what? I want to get some of that music in there. I'm missing that music there. All right, there we go. I'll put it lightly in the background. The first word. No, I'm going to do it in an American accent, my normal accent. The first word is FLORENCE. The second word is SANTA space MARIA space FIORE. The third one is ARNOLFO space CAMBIO. The fourth one is FILIPPO space BRUNELLESCHI. The fifth one, no five, sino fifth. The fifth one, EMILIO space FABRIS. And the last one, finito. I know what you're saying, piano, piano. I am. I'm slowing down. PIAZZA space DUOMO. There we go, my amigos. Today's spelling bee. We use a lot of Italian words in English, especially in the New York area. One of my favorite, antipasta. Antipasta, yeah. That means ham. That means cheese, things that you have before the pasta. And that's one of my favorite things about Italians, my family being Italian. Eating is like a serious thing. We could literally sit down. I remember on a Sunday with my grandma, Graziella, Grace. I remember sitting down maybe around 1:30. Well, we would get to her house around 12. This is on a Sunday. Very similar to Spanish lunchtime, right? And we would get there early to help out. So my mom would be wrapping presents if it was somebody's birthday or taking care of the salad, and I would be helping my grandma stir the sauce. Ojo con esa palabra. To stir the sauce. Not remove. Remove es remover. To stir, remove es quitar, and to stir es remover. What amazing memories I have. That's why I always, as you guys know, we talk about Italy quite often here on the show. And it's not just because I've been to Italy, but I grew up in an Italian household. When my grandpa went to school, Alberto Lembo, when he went to school in the United States, he did not speak English at first because at his home, they only spoke Napolitan, which is not even really Italian. Anybody, Laura and our students who know Italian know that Sicilian, Napolitan, and then there's Italian. And even in the north of Italy, I have a friend from the north of Italy, and he pronounces his R's like as if he were French. But then if you think about it, well, you're not too far from there. So interesting how, just like in Spain, there are different accents everywhere you go. And again, that's one of the things that is fascinating. You know, I love listening to different accents. I love learning new vocabulary. And there's nothing like traveling to do that, right? Because when you travel, you learn with the five senses, and they're active. And what do I mean? Well, taste. What do you learn? Well, you try a local dish, un plato local, or a local drink. So there you're tasting something. Smells. The moment you get off an airplane, you'll notice a different smell. I noticed Spain and the United States, New York, doesn't smell the same. The country. I'm not saying it smells like garlic, like our friend, what was her name? She made a lot of enemies there, Victoria Beckham. But it has a distinct smell. Just like if you go to, India, you're going to smell different spices in the air. And then with sound, the music. And the music is not just the music you hear from the buskers on the street, but also the music is the music that you hear when people speak. That music, when people are speaking, and especially in Italy, where everything sounds quite musical. So we had sight, because you're looking everywhere, sound, music, and the sounds you hear. Also sight, another thing I always tell people to do, anytime you're traveling, read everything. So if you go to a hotel, read all the pamphlets, read it all, especially if it's in that language. Try. You'll get some of it. And especially when you see things in context. Like, for example, the word salty. I'm sure I didn't pronounce that correctly. Salty. I learned that word at Charles de Gaulle Airport. Salty. Why? Well, I saw la gente estaba saliendo de ahí, estaba encima de la puerta, and I said, pues tiene que ser salida. Which is weird because the first time I saw the word salida was not in Spain. It was in Puerto Rico. And I saw the word salida, and speaking of false friends, I remember asking my mom, we were in the car going somewhere in Puerto Rico on the highway, and I said, Mom, why does it say salad? ¿Por qué pone ensalada? And then that's when my mom was like, oh, silly, it doesn't say salad. It says exit. And see, you learn from sights, sounds, and even from tastes. And I try to bring that here to the show with no name, even though we're not going to Italy. Well, hopefully today I took you to Singapore. I took you to Italy on our English journey that we do every day. But folks, right now, we need to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. We've got so much to do. We've got homophones. We've got to listen to our Say What soundbite again. We've got movies. We've got Double Trouble and so much more. So stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name, exclusively on Vaughn Radio. Yeah. Come on in, everybody. Come on in. It's time for the second half of today's show. I hope this show is helping you cool off a little bit in these dog days of summer. Hey, you can listen to the show from the pool. Just don't bring your phone too close to the edge or the radio. You can listen to Vaughn Radio everywhere you go if you have the Vaughn Radio app. Download it now. You can download it on Apple or what's the other one? Android. Don't forget, folks, you got Ximena Holiday up next and her program Test Your English. And you can follow along. There's a book at our Von Tienda, which is called, you guessed it, Test Your English. And Ximena also, I mean, she is one of our greatest, I don't want to say employees. Se queda corto la palabra employees. No? Well, anyway, stay tuned for amazing programs all afternoon long. That's right. And we'll take you right into the evening as well. But folks, right now it's time for Homophones on the Show with No Name.
Homophones, homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's homophones only on the show with no name. And this is the part of the show where we look at these words that tend to be a bit tricky. But I know you guys will be able to figure them out nonetheless. No obstante. All right. The first word is, let me look for it in English to give you, what I like to do first is always give you another way to say it in English. And then I like to give it to you in Spanish. So the first one is lacking or rare. Lacking or rare. Okay, here it says escaso o poco. Okay, so escaso, raro, poco. Okay, es un adjetivo. I don't know if we've looked at it here. I'm sure we've seen it on the show. I know we've seen it on FYI as well. Okay, so it's escaso, poco, o raro. Okay, and the second one is the verb asustar o espantar en tercera persona. So, él me asusta. Ese asusta. Okay? So, what are those two words? And do those two words sound exactly the same or not? And speaking of asustar, have you heard our FYI episode on urban legends? People repeatedly propagate, promote, perpetuate, and pass them down throughout pop culture. Even though there's no substantial proof, the population prefers to spread these popular parables. We'll uncover unreal urban legends on this week's episode of FYI. Welcome to For Your Info. Inglés. You got it. All right, folks. That's right. Urban Legends. And just recently, the bonus episode of that came out as well. Just remember, if you're patient, usually around a year or so, it's very patient, you have access to a bonus episode every week with like more English content. So usually that's the part where I put the estas son las frases que vas a necesitar en un aeropuerto, for example. So if you want access to that, you can either join my community, as many of you know. Many of you are actually members. And if not, just be very, very patient. That's all I can say. But urban legends. We talk about everything from Sasquatch, which is what we call Bigfoot, another name for Bigfoot, to Nessie. You know Nessie? The Loch Ness Monster. And my favorite one, the goat sucker. Yeah, that's right. The goat sucker. You don't know the goat sucker? Oh, be careful with that goat sucker. It'll get you every time. Chupacabras. No, well, we don't say goat sucker. No. We say chupacabras. But check it out. It's all about urban legends, and I think, I'm pretty sure. Ahí está la palabra pretty ahí que os dije antes. I'm pretty sure you have access to both episodes. So check it out wherever you get your Vaughn podcasts. All right. So we've got to take a look at these words then. The first one, escaso. The second one, asusta, pero en tercera persona. All right. Let's say the words aloud. That's the best way to do it. The first one is scarce. 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 Does that sound like that other word? Right off the top of your head there. Scarce. Is that how I would say, he scares me? All right. Well, let me say the second word, and then we'll know if it sounds the same. The first word is scarce, and the second word is scares. Scarce, scares. Scarce, scares. They are not homophones. Whoa! I was worried there. I didn't think you guys would get that one. And some of you pulled it off. Lo lograsteis. Whoa! Yeah, well, that's one of those ones that's just a little detail there. That little nuance that makes all the difference. Ese matiz que hace toda la diferencia. So, the first word, let's say it really, really important, essential that you say these words with me right now. The first one, scarce, right? Time is scarce. Usa un ejemplo, as I always tell you. Money is, no, time and money, the two things are scarce. Time and money are scarce resources. Scarce. Es una S pura y dura. Scarce. And the other one is, he scares me. Zzz. Es una zeta. He scares me. I don't know what it is, but there's something about that look in his eye that he scares. Zzz. Sí, ahora te lo enfatizo un poco para que lo oís. He scares me. Scares. Scarce. Very different because it's a different sound. It's that sound that you'll hear in the word easy. Easy. I'm telling you, it's really important to make that zzz sound because we make it a lot in English. Another one, tss, 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 like a drum. How long does it last? It lasts. Tss, tss, it lasts 20 minutes. Right? Tercera persona es difícil ese TS ahí. But if you think of a drum, tss, 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 it lasts. Hey, if it helps hearing a cymbal, un platillo, if it helps hearing a cymbal in your head, well, that works for me. So excellent job on our homophones section. We also need to listen to our Say What soundbite here, folks. This is the third listen. Please write down what you hear.
It's in my interest, in ours perhaps, maybe the interest of the greater good for me to smoke a joint and calm down. It's been demonstrably proven that temper tantrums are not the best way to do interviews, and probably my life will be easier and yours too if I smoke a joint.
All right, there you go, amigos. There you go. That is the third listen. I know it's a tough one, but don't worry, we will figure it out in just a little bit. But right now, we're going to return to Italy really quickly because, well, we're in Florence. If you've never been to Florence, it is an absolutely beautiful place that I highly recommend everybody visit if you get the chance. I was in Milan with my wife for a couple days, and we love Milan. I know Milan gets a bad rap, no, una mala reputación. No, it's Milan. It's an industrial. I was walking. I had dinner with my wife on the canal. Hay canales. Yeah. It's, it's all. I saw some beautiful little corners, these little art galleries with a little cafe. I thought it was gorgeous. So it's interesting. It's all about perspective in life, isn't it? And Florence, as I said, just like Rome, is a living, breathing work of art, a museum. One of the first things I do when I go to a city is I find out the best place to see the sunset. Mejor sitio para ver el atardecer. Well, it's a great thing. And then you can check it. You know, on your phone, you can say, what time does the sun set in Florence, Italy on August 12th? And it'll tell you 7:09 p.m. or whatever. So what does that mean you have to do? You have to get yourself a birra, a Peroni, or some Chianti, and you got to go over to the park. I believe this one was called the Leonardo something Park. Can't remember the name of the park. Maybe it's the Vinci Park. I can't remember. But it's across the river, and you see all the city. I mean, I guess it's like if you go here to one of the popular spots in Madrid is Templo de Bot. You know, you got to know these spots where you can see beautiful sunsets. And if there's like a table you can reserve and have a nice aperol. It's another thing that's great. Anybody feel like going to Italy right now? Yeah, me too. All right, well, let's take a look. The reason I chose Florence is because today, the bishop, el obispo of Florence, blessed the first foundation stone for the new campanile. Now, we say the word campanile. We know the word, but we usually say a very logical word, bell tower. Torre con campana. Makes sense. And yes, so the first foundation stone for the new bell tower of the Florence Cathedral. Ojo con la pronunciación. Cathedral. And the cathedral was designed by the artist Giotto di Bondone. And what did I do over here? Well, I just got some people who were involved in the making of it. So, the people in the city. Number one was Florence. That's where it's located. The next one is Santa Maria delle Fiore, which is Florence Cathedral's real name. The full name is Cattedrale di Santa Maria delle Fiore, Cathedral of Saint Mary of the Flower. I thought it was fire at first, but I guess that's not a very Christian thing, right? So the second one is the name of the church. Then you got Arnolfo di Cambio, and he was the one who started the design process. As you know, many of these cathedrals have gone through many renovations. So that's Arnolfo di Cambio. Pero luego hubo un cambio. And then we got Filippo Brunelleschi. Filippo Brunelleschi. They're so fun to say. And he was the one who engineered the dome, that famous dome that the Florence Cathedral has. Then you got Emilio di Fabris. Emilio di Fabris, which was the one who in the 19th century did that white, green, and pink bordered facade. Fachada, te suena, no? Facade, lo pronunciamos nosotros. And the last one is Piazza del Duomo, which is where this amazing site is located. So if you haven't been there, I mean, especially if you live in Spain, I get it. Americans are like, oh man, I'm dying to go to Italy. It's really far away. I know. But if you're in Spain, it's a hop, skip, and a jump. And I know there's a lot of low cost that goes to Milan. And from Milan, you can get to a lot of different places. Sicily, we complain about low cost. But then again, we all find ourselves traveling, without any leg room. But I feel like that leg room thing now, it's not even a low cost thing. You can go with a major carrier and you have no leg room. Oh man, that's annoying. Anyway, my amigos, it's time to leave Italy. Our plane has just taken off. And right now we're going to go catch a flick. Name that movie. That's right, amigos. It's Name That Movie, only on the Show with No Name. And thank you to all of you who participate every day, whether you're participating live, whether you're listening to the podcast. I really, really, really appreciate you. And I just want to let you know I appreciate it because it's incredible. When I think I have 5 books, I have people who fly from different countries and different parts of Spain to come visit me when we're at a book fair. And even when I'm in Almeria, where I'm going to be going for my vacation, I have friends down there, but friends who I didn't know from Almeria. They were like, hey, I know you from the radio and you always promote Almeria. Of course. Hey, and Italy too. I'm proud of my roots, my heritage, my Spanish. I mean, you don't choose it. So I guess if I was Brazilian, I would be proud of that too. I mean, also that doesn't mean you should be blindly proud. Okay, Spain is a wonderful country. Spanish people are awesome, but we have our share of problems, like everyone. That's what I mean. But since we don't decide where we're born or what we're connected to, what places we're connected to, well, you might as well be proud of the good things and try and work on the things that need work, because I don't think we're all, any of us, not a country, not a person, none of us are where we need to be, right? Where this is a constant journey, constant evolution. All right, I'm getting a little too philosophical here. Let's take a look at our movie here, and hopefully you guys will be able to figure it out. Having recovered from wounds received in a failed rescue operation, Navy SEAL Shane Wolf, is handed a new assignment: protect the 5 plumber kids from enemies of their recently deceased father, a government scientist whose top secret experiment remains in the kids' house. Does this movie ring a bell? So having recovered, después de haber recuperado, from the wounds, we've looked at that word, heridas, not wound, que eso es dar cuerda, enrollado. Se escribe igual, ojo. Wound versus wound. Wound es herida. So having recovered from wounds received in a failed rescue operation. Está recuperándose, intentó rescatar algo en los Navy SEALs, and now they give him a new assignment, nuevos órdenes, a new assignment. Also, the word assignment we use as well with homework. The teacher gave us 3 different homework assignments, porque homework no lleva ese, siempre es incontable. We have a lot of homework. Si quieres hacerlo contable, decimos homework assignments, okay? So he's handed, entregado, easy word to remember, a new assignment: protect the 5 plumber kids from enemies of their recently deceased father. Proteger los niños plumber, su apellido, que suena como fontanero, from enemies of their recently deceased father. And recently deceased is recién fallecido. It's a nice way to say it, deceased. Es con respeto ese término. And the deceased father is a government scientist whose top secret experiment remains in the kid's house. And I see some of you had figured it out. It's the Pacifier, starring Vin Diesel and lots of kids. Vin Diesel. You say diésel, el fuel, no? We say Diesel. And his name is not really Vin Diesel. That's his stage name. The movie is called The Pacifier for 2 reasons. I don't know if you guys know them, but you probably do. A pacifier es un chupete. Like Maggie Simpson. She has a pacifier, right? Now, the British call it a dummy, un tonto, which I don't know if I like that. We call it a pacifier porque el niño, they're pacified, pacificados, pacificador. But also a pacifier is alguien que trae paz. So think about it. He's coming in to bring peace to the family. So está con niños, el chupete. It's a wonderful double meaning for a movie. Even though I got to be honest, I'm not a big Vin Diesel fan. I don't know. All right, let's take a look. We can always learn from him, though. Lulu Plummer, one of the daughters, walks up to Shane. Usamos este phrasal verb siempre. Se acerca. Walks up to Shane, the character played by Vin Diesel, and says, "Hi, Zoe says you look like the Hulk. I think you're cute." Zoe, we say Zoe. Zzz, ese sonido otra vez. Zoe says you look like the Hulk. Masa. El Hulk, you say. I think you're cute. Yo creo que eres mono. Eres gracioso, monito, no? And Shane says uncomfortably, uh, thank you. Like, no sé si me gusta esto. He feels uncomfortable and awkward. And then Lulu says, do you do kung fu? ¿Haces kung fu? And Shane says, yes. And Lulu says, did you ever punch someone so hard that their head came off? Una vez le has dado un puñetazo a alguien tan duro que se le voló la cabeza? And Shane says, no. And Lulu says, why are your boobs so big? Out of nowhere, desde la nada. Why are your boobs so big? ¿Por qué tienes las tetas tan grandes? And remember, we're talking about Vin Diesel. He's Diesel. Tiene moobs, pero son duras, right? No como las mías. Moobs, man boobs, tetas de hombre. Hey, yo no inventé la palabra. So she notices he's muscular, he's ripped, as we say. And she says, out of nowhere, why are your boobs so big? And he's offended. He goes, they're not boobs. No son tetas. And then Lulu says, do you have to wear a bra? ¿Tienes que llevar sujetador? Do you have to wear a bra? And Shane walks into the other room and Lulu follows him. So he's obviously offended. And Lulu follows him, le sigue. And Lulu says, esta es la frase, so will my boobs get as big as yours someday? Mis tetas, mis lolas, se pondrán tan grande como las tuyas algún día. And Shane says, you know, little girl, enfadado ya, he's pissed off. I think it's time you went nappy poo. And cuando ponemos poo al final, no, poo es caca, pero es como darle un poco diminutivo. I think it's time hablar como baby talk. Who wants a nappy poo? Okay. Una siestecita. In Betty Bye Land, en la tierra de las camitas. O sea, está hablando in baby talk. And Lulu says, do I look like I'm 5 to you? Parece que tengo 5 años a ti, ¿o qué te pasa? And he crossly walks away. And to crossly walk away, cross is cruzar, but cross is also angry. Angry. If you cross, you're angry. So she angrily walks away. And Shane says, what did I say? ¿Qué es lo que dije? What did I say? And Lulu says, disrespectful. Vaya falta de respeto. And to think I was interested in you. Me molabas. If she's a little girl, it's inappropriate. And the funny thing about this is this scene really happened on set. Like in real life, not with the characters. So Morgan York, she's the actress who played Lulu in the movie. When she met Vin Diesel, she actually said to him these sentences about his boobs and will I have boobs like yours? And, well, the good thing is the director witnessed it, fue testigo a ello, and he put it in the film. He goes, we've got to put this in the film. And it's probably one of the funniest, one of the most memorable scenes in the film. But as I said, you don't even have to watch the film if you're not a Vin Diesel fan like me, but you can learn just from the title. It kind of reminds me of The Godfather, porque todos saben The Godfather, pero, okay, eso es padrino. Madrina, godmother. Ahijado, godson. Ahijada, goddaughter. Guys, you know how we do it. Always learning, always playing, always having some fun. We'll be right back with the fourth and final part of today's show with no name. So, stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name, summer edition. I know you're sweating, but at least we're having fun, guys. Look at my forehead. If you're with us in the live stream, you can see my forehead. Mi frente. You can say my brow or my forehead. I'm sweating bullets. Como la canción de Megadeth. Sweating bullets. No ballets, bullets. Oh, yeah. We're going to take a look at today's Double Trouble. Then we've got our Say What soundbite. We've got jokes, famous birthdays. What else? Oh, yeah. Then we got to solve the Say What soundbite. We've got Name That Lyric as well. So much stuff to do. And when today's show's over, your English adventure is not over. No way. Not quite. Afterwards, you've got Ximena Holiday and Test Your English, followed by Rob and Andy and the Lunchtime Show. Then you've got Tosh Pasqua with Back to Basics. Jules Linares, Let's Get Random. Western Civilization with Guy Williams. The Salad with Dave Boys. And Drive Time with the one and only Kyle Miller. And start your day with the Pro Bow Show. That's right, amigos. Tons of amazing programs here on Vaughn to get you psyched, mentalizados, motivados. And let's kick off with today's Double Trouble. Yeah.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble.
That's right, amigos. It's Double Trouble only on the show with no name. And as always, this is the part of the show where I really put you to the test because you might know the translation, but it might be incorrect because you didn't use the same word twice. You catch my drift? Me pillas? Because, yeah, you could be right, but in this section, it could be wrong if you don't use the same word twice. But today, are you ready for this? I don't know if you're ready for this. It's a double trouble. That means you have to use the same word twice. Are you guys ready? I think it's going to be easy, regardless, independientemente de todas formas. I think it's going to be quite easy. But let's see what you guys come up with. Deja de tirarte pedos. Si tienes que ir al baño, podemos parar en una gasolinera. I think I've said that to somebody before on a car trip. So, deja de tirarte pedos. Si tienes que ir al baño, podemos parar en una gasolinera. Como una persona normal. Hombre, venga. All right. So, it's a double trouble. Wow. Good luck to my amigos trying to figure that out. In the meantime, I'm going to give you our extremely tricky Say What soundbite for the fourth and final time.
It's in my interest and ours, perhaps, maybe the interest of the greater good for me to smoke a joint and calm down. It's been demonstrably proven that temper tantrums are not the best way to do interviews, and probably my life will be easier and yours too if I smoke a joint.
All right, there you go, folks. That is the fourth and final listen of today's Say What soundbite. I know somebody's going to get it, and if not, I'll reveal it. I always do at the end of the show. So that's why I tell you too, even if you can't tune in live, participate. Because after each section, I'll let you know which answer was right, which ones are acceptable, right? So you can always check your answers, which I think is really important. If you just had challenges and then you had no way to check your answers, then we would be in trouble, right? All right, let's take a look here. Let's see. Oh, my goodness. I'm really, really sorry. Jesus Christ. Oh, man. I guess I shouldn't have eaten those beans, man. Beans. They're good for your heart. The more you eat them, the more you fart. Hey, I must say, I've gotten pretty good at producing the show live, right? I can even finish it's practice. I've been doing the show for 15 years. Since that disease, I don't even like to mention that virus, whatever. I started producing it live myself. And it's quite an experience. It's, you got to really be paying attention, which I think is great. It makes me really focus in each show because I've got to be ready with the jingles and everything. And I love challenges. I know you guys love challenges as well. So let's take a look at our Double Trouble challenge today. Deja de tirarte pedos. Stop farting. Or quit. Se puede decir stop or quit. Pero siempre con el gerundio. Stop farting. Quit farting. Los dos son iguales. Ahora, en este caso no queremos el quit porque buscamos otro stop y no vamos a usar fart. We're going to say pass gas. Stop passing gas. So let's look at different ways to say fart. To cut the cheese. To let one go. To let one rip. Como cuando se rompe algo. To, I'm trying to think of some more ones right now. Well, to pass gas, to break wind. And obviously you can search for many more on the internet. There are fun ways to say it. My favorite is to cut the cheese, right? But pass gas is cool too because it rhymes. So stop passing gas. Deja de tirarte pedos. If you have to go to the bathroom, si tienes que ir al baño, we can stop, ahí está el otro stop, at the gas station. Oh, God, I don't think I'm going to make it to the gas station. When you got to go, you got to go. Es la frase, cuando te toca, right? When you got to go, you got to go. You know, when you have got to, se convierte en when you gotta. When you've gotta, pero la V lo comemos. When you got to go, you got to go. All right, I'll stop. It's just, I guess, my favorite sound effect ever. And now I'm showing everybody just how mature I am. Oh, sorry. Again, I couldn't help it. No lo pude evitar. So the words we looked at there are gas and stop that we doubled up on. So stop passing gas. Deja de tirarte pedos. Stop passing gas. If you have to go to the bathroom, or the loo, if you're British, if you have to go to the bathroom, we can stop at the gas station. If you're British, it's called the petrol station, as they call it. All right, well, my amigos, it's time to move on to You're Joking.
Thank you. Okay, what did the guy say when he walked into the bar? Ouch. Ouch. You get it? Ouch. He walked into the bar. You're joking.
That's right, amigos. That's right. You're joking only on the show with no name. And man, thank God I stopped with all those fart noises. And man, it's those fart jokes. Oh, oops. I spoke too soon. I can't help it. Well, these are fart jokes today. So I decided let's just stick with this theme. Nos aferramos a esto. So why won't the skeleton, esqueleto, empieza con S en inglés, why won't the skeleton fart in public? Or pass gas, or break wind, or cut the cheese, or flatulate. Sure, flatulence, if we want to be scientific. I've never heard anybody say it seriously. That's not a doctor or a scientist, you know, or somebody who deals with anatomy. But normal people will use one of these, right? So why won't the skeleton fart in public? Oh, easy. Because he doesn't have the guts. No. He doesn't have the guts. Well, gut, that's a really short word that's got a lot of meanings. Your gut is your belly, panza, barriga. Homer Simpson has a gut. Also, it's your intestines. Si le ponemos ese, oh man, he got shot in the Second World War, and his guts came out of his stomach. Tripas, intestinos, guts. Also, agallas, coraje, valentía. You haven't got the guts. No tienes la valentía. Another one, instinto. Trust your gut. Fíate de tu estómago, de tu tripa. Trust your gut instinct. See, wow. I have a gut feeling. Tengo un presentimiento, right? To bust a gut is romperse el lomo, okay? To bust a gut laughing is to reírse muchísimo. I have a gut feeling. Tengo un instinto. I already looked at that one. It's gut-wrenching. Oh, man. When I saw the images from the war, they were gut-wrenching, desgarrador, devastador. So look at that word. It's got so many meanings. That word gut. It's just one syllable, 3 letters. So do you get it now? Why won't the skeleton fart in public? Because he doesn't have the guts. No tiene intestinos, no tiene agallas. Oh, God. Jesus. Okay, let's move on to the next joke. What do you get when an aristocrat farts? ¿Qué recibes o qué es lo que tienes when an aristócrata, maybe you say, somebody from the aristocracy, what do you get when they fart? Oh, easy. It's called a noble gas. No. A noble gas, noble. We can call it a noble gas or an inert gas. Y aquí pone gas noble o gas raro. Oh, I didn't know about that one. So, interesting there. And Nobel, we know, is the Nobel Peace Prize as well. But a noble is somebody from nobility. A noble gas, noble nobilidad, aristocrat. Oh, you knew it wasn't the end of it. You knew it wasn't the end of it there. All right. Watch somebody get offended. Me ofendido con los pedos. Really? Si te ofende algo tan sencillo, wow, you got some problems there. All right. The third one. This is me. Hey, guys, that's what you know what it is? I think my brain is fried. Está frito mi cerebro from the heat. What do you call someone who only farts when they're home alone? Not Macaulay Culkin. So what do you call someone who only farts when they're home alone? Easy. A private tutor. No. A private tutor. Un tutor particular. A private tutor. Tutor, we say tutor. Maybe the British tutor, but we say it like a D, tutor. But also to toot is tocar la bocina. And also to toot is another way to say to fart. Did you just toot? Think about it. To toot. So you can toot the horn or you can toot, which is to fart. And do you get it now? What do you call someone who farts when they're home alone? A private tutor. I don't know. I think these are funny. But I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, these jokes stink. Apestan. Hey, that joke works both in English and in Spanish. But we'll move on now, only because it's time for famous birthday trivia.
Famous birthdays for you. Famous birthdays for me. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. Famous birthdays for him. Famous birthdays for her. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name.
I told you it didn't end there. I can't. I'm really trying. I've got to get that off my soundboard right away. Tengo que quitar esto de mi mesa, porque si no, this could be a daily thing, guys. It's seriously dangerous. If you haven't noticed, I've gotten carried away. Se me ha ido la pinta. Se me ha ido la olla with the, once again. Am I the only one laughing here? Because if I am, then, well, sorry, I apologize. But if you guys are laughing and enjoying your English class while we joke around on a hot summer day, well, that makes me happy. And by the way, you guys are doing a wonderful job today, as you always do. Keep up the great work. Let's see who's celebrating a birthday today. The first person was born in 1939, an American singer, songwriter, and guitarist, an Italian-American who was the lead singer of the vocal group and the Belmonts. ¿Por qué no te puedo decir Because that's his name. So, and the Belmonts. And then he also had his own solo career as well. And some of his signature songs you might recognize. Oh, 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 I'll keep away from a runaround soon and she said, hey, oh, she goes out with other guys. He's the moral of the story from the guy who knows and love and my love still grows. To Run Around Sue. Esta canción va de una chica que le ponen los cuernos. Run Around Sue. Did you know that? It's an interesting one. Keep away from Run Around Sue. This she goes out with other guys. Here's the moral of this. Ella sale con otros chicos. Here's the moral of the story. Aquí tienes la moraleja. And then another one they call him the Wanderer. They call him the Wanderer. He just hang around and around and around and around. The Wanderer, el deambulador. And well, as you can imagine, this guy is a legend. You know these songs. And, oh, man. This next person is a legend if you love the Fast and Furious movies, right? Fast and Furious. And he likes to toot his own horn. I just gave you another toot. So toot is to fart. To toot the horn is beep, beep. But to toot your own horn is echarse rositas, I think you say. Decir, a que molo. Now, again, I think that's a character he plays, but he's just got that look. And you know him as another name. His real name's Mark Sinclair. Dominic from the Fast and the Furious. He was also in Triple X. He was in Saving Private Ryan as well. He played Groot, and he continues to play Groot in the Guardians of the Galaxy. And yeah, I don't dislike him, but he's not my favorite. And last but not least, this guy was born in 1937. He was an American journalist and author. And he founded what is called gonzo journalism. And this guy was pretty nuts. What he did was he would take drugs. Well, it was the 60s. And he would just live these experiences. And he would write about what was happening. The zeitgeist. Many of you might recognize him from Miedo y Asco in Las Vegas. He wrote the book. Johnny Depp plays this person in in inglés se llama Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. It's a book, and it later became a movie with Benicio del Toro. If you haven't seen it, I mean, it's a trippy movie, alucinante, you know, como un poco, but that was the 60s. Again, it's like you can't tell a mafia movie without having some violence, some people, you know, losing their heads or something like that, because then it's not mafia movies. You know, that's the way it works. So, yeah, this guy lived in the 60s. He also wrote Where the Buffalo Roam and many, many other pieces that as the years go on, this guy seems more and more popular. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our famous birthdays today. Number one, our birthday boy, Dion DiMucci from Dion and the Belmonts. Number two, Vin Diesel. I'm just kidding. It's not Diesel. It's not Diesel. It's Diesel. Vin Diesel. And number three, the author Hunter S. Thompson. And that's going to bring us right over to our Say What soundbite. It's Hunter S. Thompson. And the interviewer, he's being interviewed, asks him why he's smoking a joint. Dice, ¿por qué estás fumando un porro aquí en la entrevista? And he goes, it's in my interest, in ours. Perhaps maybe in the interest of the greater good, para el bien de todos, for me to smoke a joint and calm down, para que yo me fuma un porro y me calme. He goes, it's been demonstrably proven, se puede demostrar, lo han demostrado muchas veces, that temper tantrums, rabietas, are not the best ways to do interviews. O sea, que si no se relaja, él se pone. He didn't like talking to the press, obviously. So he said, temper tantrums, lo que hace un niño, rabieta, are not the best ways to do interviews. Probably my life will be easier, and yours too, if I smoke a joint. Como, te estoy haciendo un favor, chaval. Let's hear legendary writer Hunter S. Thompson.
It's in my interest, in ours perhaps, maybe the interest of the greater good, for me to smoke a joint and calm down. It's been demonstrably proven that temper tantrums are not the best way to do interviews, and probably my life will be easier and yours too if I smoke a joint.
All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen, and we learned many, many meanings of the word joint, but now it's time for Name That Lyric.
Hi, hello, Alberto. I think the song is. No? Sorry, bye.
Name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. Name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. It's name that lyric only on the show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's Name That Lyric, and thus the final section. Thank you, 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 thank you. Just in case I forgot to mention it one day, those are a lot of extra thank yous. Thanks a million, as we say. You guys are absolutely amazing. I'm proud of you guys. You've been doing a wonderful job all year. I hope you're enjoying the summer. We've just got until the end of this week, and then I'm taking some holiday. The radio will be on break, but we're going to make every single second count. And as you saw today. So it doesn't matter how hot it is. It doesn't matter how exhausted we may be. We came here every day, and we come here every day to have fun and to play and to learn and to share. So I thank you guys for getting that. No, por pillarlo, por entender a qué venimos aquí. It's not just an English class. It's not just the radio show. It's a kind of family, I would say. So that's magical. The magical mystery tour is waiting to take you away. No, that's not our Name That Lyric, but I'm going to give it to you. It's Run Around Sue by Dion, the birthday boy Dion. And now we know that this song is not a love song, even though it sounds that way. Let's take a look at the lyrics. Here's my story. It's sad but true. It's about a girl that I once knew. She took my love and ran around with every single guy in town. Poor guy. Oh my God. Hey, hey, whoa, 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 hey, hey, whoa, 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 hey, hey. And he goes, keep away from a runaround Sue.
Here's my story,
Sad but true. Sing it.
It's about a girl that I once knew.
Yeah, baby.